regrette rien, ni le bien qu'on m'a fait, ni le mal, tout ça m'est bien égal. Non.
Tallulah Bankhead, Part 2. As the 1950s beckoned, Tallulah resurrected her stage career, memorably performing with a new and upcoming actor called Marlon Brando. She interviewed him personally at her home. When he arrived, she was well tankered up in his haste to grub at the bulge in his jeans. When the play opened... Where am I now? Bloody dyspraxia. Yeah. Brando proceeded to upstage the diva every opportunity. He picked his nose, scratched his balls, and leered at the audience. Even mooned them. Then he ate garlic before the big scene. Big love scene, even. Avoiding Tallulah's tongue as best I could. He drove the poor woman nuts and was fired when one night he stood at the back of the stage and pissed against the scenery. The next time Miss Bankhead goes swimming, I hope that whales shit on her. During another Broadway production, Tallulah turned her attention to Marlene Dietrich's daughter, Maria Riva, who revealed that she was usually blind drunk and completely naked and liked to chase me down hotel corridors. Although her star had now dimmed to a sort of pallid rusty orange, Tallulah still behaved like a supernova in exile at a New York mansion, surrounding herself with a retinue of young gay men who fetched her food and mixed her drinks, even lit cigarettes for her. Rather than more eccentricity, I can never pronounce that word, I'm sorry. She had a menagerie of animals, including a rescued monkey and a pet lion cub called Winston Churchill, which she used to smuggle into hotels. Eventually, it had to be given to the Bronx Zoo when it grew too big and started biting the ankles of Tallulah's guests. More mundanely, she kept dogs and a parrot. Dolores, her Maltese, usually slept beside her mistress in the bedroom. One night, a servant smelled smoke and rushed in to set the poor mutt on fire. Or to see, not set, dear brain. I'm a bit tired. Been a busy week. Tallulah had flicked her cigarette ash onto the animal before nodding off. "Tallulah! Dolores is on fire!" he yelled. "Well, for Christ's sakes, put her out," she replied and went back to sleep. As she passed 50, Tallulah began to drink more heavily than before, something like a quart of bourbon a day, together with the dangerous mixture of Tuinal, whatever. Tuinal. If anybody's familiar, feel free to comment about that. Benzedrine, Dexedrine, Dexamyl, and morphine. Not surprisingly, with all that whizzing around her system, there were several psychotic episodes. One colleague observed her in the hotel corridor acting like a wild woman, like a caged chimp. She was literally filling at the walls, screaming, "Where am I?" It got so bad that Tallulah's maid resorted to banding her wrists together with adhesive tape at night to reduce the risk of her taking an overdose of pills. All of this took a huge toll on her body and looks. From an exotic creature, she had degenerated into something resembling Betty Davis' ugly aunt. Orson Welles called Tallulah the most sensational case of the aging process being unkind. The sad thing was she knew her face had crumbled, but amazingly could still laugh at herself. When people on the street asked her, "Aren't you Tallulah Bankhead?" she'd answer, "I'm what's left of her, darling." During her last few years, she rarely strayed from her home. Her routine was not to get up before 4 p.m, and then spent the remainder of the day watching TV and drinking gin and bourbon. A cigarette forever bracketed between her lips. An insomniac most of her life. Yeah, makes two of us, slightly. Think too much. Evenings saw friends sitting on her bed, keeping her company until she drifted into unconsciousness. She couldn't stand the thought of being alone at night. The summer of 1968, Tallulah spent with her sister, Eugenia, who, if anything, was worse than Tallulah in the man-grabber department, having married 7 times. They spoke of the past, and Tallulah confessed that life had ceased to be interesting and that every night she prayed she wouldn't wake up in the morning. Jesus, woman. It was a nasty strain of Asian flu that finally did Tallulah in. Her immune system, battered over decades by drink and drugs, well, yeah, exactly, much like Alexander, this is me saying this, not from the book. Yeah, it sounds more like she died of the old Alexander the Great fever disease, just, and I guess Brittany Murphy to a degree, just the immune system just got battered before it could properly develop from, a really young age from excess, and just got worse. Was pitiful against it. Hooked up to a ventilator, she quickly slipped into a coma that she never woke up from, but not before asking for one of her favourite tipples, codeine and bourbon. In characteristic good humour, Tallulah once told a reporter, if I had had my life to live again, eventually spat that out, I'd make the same mistakes, only sooner. Not a bad epitaph for a woman who considers herself as pure as the driven slush. And that's the end of Tallulah Bankhead. And it's only fitting because her first near proper, lurid sexual experience was with John Barrymore, and he's the entry right after Tallulah Bankhead. So, when I decide to pick this book up again, it'll be about John Barrymore, son of a Victorian vaudeville actor Maurice Barrymore, or Morris if you prefer. He probably calls himself Maurice, who pretty much all the men in that family got were pretty much killed by their own vices. I mean, Maurice in particular, the patriarch, he spent the rest of his days in an asylum because of the same disease that killed Al Capone in the end, neurosyphilis. So yeah, little teaser for that as well.
Lost your control.
I lost control.
Yes, you
Look
lost
at
your
you.
control.
You're fucking walking around like John Barry.
I've left my husband.
Huh?
I've left him for good.
And how much has he left you?
Do you think I'd take money from such a brute? I threw it in his face.
He gave you money, and you threw it back at him?
But he bit me on the wrist and kicked me. Oh, you have no idea what I've been through.
And you left your husband without a settlement?
I've come to you just as I am.
With no settlement at all? Nothing?
Nothing. Except me. Bengali, you don't want me?